Hey folks, thanks for being with me this time, and this is one of the few videos that I don't really enjoy doing too much. This is actually the second part of a two-part video, and the first part was me building this Yoda Tex 2 with a track point. And about well beyond halfway through the video I ran into some trouble, and I just wasn't able to figure out what was the real problem behind it in the live video, and I got a little upset. Probably not upset, but it probably felt more upset to me than it does to you. Yeah, but I got really frustrated. So I got in touch with Tex and talked to them about the issue I was having, namely that I had a little screw in a screw port below the B key, the G key, I think, and I had a really hard time getting that screw out after I assembled the video, and I really didn't want to desolder the whole board to get it out. So while I was getting the screw out of there from below the plate, you can all see it in the video, I actually tipped over or damaged one of these little mounting points for the track point. I can't remember how that happened. Like how? Oh yeah, of course, because the screw went into one of these little mounting points here. So it occupied the mounting point and I couldn't screw in the track point. So while I was removing it, I was applying too much horizontal pressure on the screw, and I loosened one of these mounting points. So I got in touch with Tex about this, and they told me that I can simply just resolder the mounting point, and that's pretty much what I did. And it looks pretty sturdy to me right now. I'm very happy with it. I don't want to remove the flat flex cable. I just wanted to give you an impression of what actually happened. So can't even tell which one it was. Must have been this one. So yeah, what I did was I took my soldering iron and I stuck it right in here like this, and I let it sit there for a really long time until all this thermal mass here got heated up, and then I applied a little bit of solder and it got sucked right into it got sucked right in there. It got sucked right in there, right in this little part here. Let me grab some light. Got sucked right in there. So it seems that on the top of the PCB there's a little metal part sitting, and it is soldered to this little screw port here on the bottom. And with a little bit of solder I managed to reconnect these parts, and I got a very nice solid connection there. Everything's back to normal. Now the second part I totally messed up in my build video was something that I misidentified as an issue that I caused when removing the screw here. Removing the screw here actually didn't destroy the PCB or the keyboard at all. Everything's fine down there. The one thing that I remember this when I was taking a shower a little bit later. It's always a great moment to be alone with your thoughts for a bit. And I remembered that Tex included all these little plastic washers with the screw-in stabilizers. And I was bold enough to assume that I could just leave them out and save them for like some special cases where you actually need them because you're afraid to short something. And I realized after the build stream, the initial one, that I was actually having an issue with a specific column of keys. And one of the keys in that column is the backspace key. And the backspace key happens to be very close to a stabilizer that I screwed in without the included washers. So I took a closer look, and we got this little place up here. And this little place, this stabilizer screw does require one of these plastic washers. So I took out the screw, put in the washer, reattached the screw, and all my keys were working as desired. So I was having two issues in my video, like one of the issues, omitting the washers just to save them for some other purpose, my own stupidity at its best, and I managed to fix this. Now to the second part. I was getting pretty upset about Tex leaving a screw in my PCB, and I guess I just have to man up and admit it, that I probably put the screw in there myself. I realized that when I got my second Tex kit, because the screw that I put that was in there was actually meant to go in here in the center and go into this screw port here and give the keyboard a center resting point and a center fixing point. I also complained in the video about the fact that these 4 screw ports, the ones that I was actually looking at in the live stream, are a bit far apart, totally neglecting the fact that there is actually a center screw port here to add stability to the whole construction. So construction is much better than I judged in my video, and I don't think Tex is to blame for this at all. I just have to, accept that I probably, who knows, no, I did that myself. I'm pretty sure. When I got the board, I took it apart and I wanted to look at the PCB and stuff, and I think I just opened it up and removed a couple of screws and looked at all of it. And when I put the PCB back in, I just whacked the screw back in, and I just wasn't paying attention, I guess. And I don't want to leave this standing as an as if Tex did something wrong here. So yeah, okay, so after fixing all this, I can really tighten those screws down here, no problem at all. Oops. I'm just going to reassemble the keyboard and then put some keycaps on, because the one thing that I still have to uphold is the fact that, the one complaint that is still valid is the fact that the keycaps that came with this keyboard are hazardous crap. They aren't just bad keycaps. Yeah, so see, this is where the screw is supposed to go. Such a naughty little screw. So yeah, in the video, I think I put the keycaps on. I'm not sure if I actually removed them during the video, but I removed them before or after the video. Can't remember when it actually was. And they are terrible to remove. These stems aren't particularly wide, but it was such a drag to remove them. I actually tore, I pulled a couple of Amex red stems through the top case, which is something that I've never seen before. It's ridiculous. So I really recommend, unless you want those keycaps to go on your keyboard for forever, that you you don't put them on if you plan on ever removing them, because like they are going to, like, I've never seen this behavior before. I've worked with a lot of MX Clears, and MX Clears are known to have a very tight fit with a couple of keycaps, but I've never gotten a fit anywhere close to that. It really hurt pulling them off, and it like actually hurt some of the switches. I pulled some of the switches off and pulled the stem through the top case. I'm not sure if that's something to do with the MX Silent Reds, that the stem is a bit softer and goes through the top case a little easier. Who knows? So yeah, the keycaps I'm going to put on are the GHB caps from the ASCII TrackPoint sets. I sold a lot of these earlier this year on Desk Authority, I think it was earlier this year, and they allow for TrackPoint use with these caps. And I'm including a couple of additional caps here, Desk Authority keycap, the nice little control here. I'm using this for FN or like function, but or like layer or whatever, but control is good enough for me. I'm settling with control here. And yeah, short shift. And the rest of the caps, like, this is really not my night. Like, I wanted to grab one of my adapter leftovers, like from my adapter group buy, and I realized I couldn't find any. I don't know if I sold them all, or if they're just gone. I'm currently out of adapter kits, so yeah, I had to grab some of these caps here, and they look good, right? Like, don't make me even more unhappy. I'm already feeling miserable. Yeah, the rest of the keyboard are going to be some of my refurbished sandblasted head caps. So these are like retro brighted and sandblasted, and they should, like you can tell, these are brand new GMK made adapter kits, and this is like an old headset. So like had as in HAD. Okay, let's get a couple of caps out of the way. So yeah, that kind of brings me back to the verdict for those for this kit, which I have to correct and say that this is like a really great kit. For my experience, like I've had great experience with it, apart from the fact that I messed up some stuff. But the keycaps are just, there's no excuse for these keycaps. Don't use them. Ah, damn! I'm like the retro bright on the alphanumerics isn't as good. So yeah, you can tell like these I don't know why these TrackPoint caps, even though they're super shiny, there's hardly any brightening on them. Whoever used them was probably locked up in some basement with no sunlight. Oh yeah, I probably have to re-brighten them. That would really help, I guess. So yeah, I really can't wait to use this keyboard a little bit. I have high hopes. I hope I get used to the slightly tall track point here. The height, that's like a bit of a drawback here. The height of the track point was obviously matched with OEM keycaps, and we're using cherry profile caps here. So keycaps stands a little high. Yeah, it gives you a pretty nice picture of it. I can't imagine it's going to be bothering me a lot, because that's like not a region you should be moving your finger through a lot. Oh well, considering this is like very bright light, and I'm just a little over frustrated right now. I think I might be able to not bother with re-brightening the alphanumerics here. Okay, let's give it a shot. Just gonna go to my comments here, live chat. Oh, there's nothing going on in the live chat. That's, well, probably people were annoyed by me never responding in the live chat. Really sorry for that, but I don't want to be boring people with stuff I do in the live chat when it's like not even possible to access it afterwards. So I'm just gonna type in something. Oh, oh yeah, there we go. Oh wow, it is super sensitive. Oh yeah, I like that. Okay, so you can obviously set this track point to a very sensitive setting. Definitely gonna have to install the driver here and adjust this a little bit. But for me as a track point user, it's pretty intuitive. Yeah. I gotta admit, a slightly shorter stem for the track point would be nice, but it's okay this way, I guess. Yeah. It's better than having no track point, and it's a lot better than having to deal with these terrible keycaps. Let me see if I can find an... Oh yeah. There we go. Yeah. It's a hell of a fit. Oh yeah, one thing about this keyboard. I gotta remap it a little bit, I guess. Yeah, and that's basically it. Yeah, I just wanted to. I just couldn't release the first video without making the second video. I think it's really important to make it clear that some of the stuff that I said in my first video, like put into the right context and set some things straight that I claimed in the first video. I didn't want those to stand out there unopposed or whatever. So I will be linking to this video from the original stream. I will be including some of the information that I mentioned in this video in the original stream, and I hope all of the people who watched the first video also take a look at the second video, and just making sure that I'm not spreading false information here. Thanks very much for watching. It's been important for me to do this video, and take care, everyone.